everyone. This is Zach, and David here's with me with the Get Smart group. We just wanted to cover 4 common mistakes you should look out for in digital marketing. Let's just jump right into this here. The number one thing that we see would be cumulative reports. David, do you want to talk briefly about why that could be an issue if you're super focused on that?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to show 2 different slides, and I guess I'll address what the cumulative report really is. So in a cumulative report, it just constantly is ticking up. We can see in this graph that this is from November 21, 2020 to December 20th, 2021. And here we're measuring clicks, though it doesn't really matter what we are measuring if we're using a chart like this, but you can see it just steadily goes up. So this looks really wonderful. So you can look at your report, maybe it was conversions. It's wow, it just goes up and up and up all of this time from November to December, nothing but going up. But that's because this tally is just adding to it. So it gets higher and higher. But let's look at this a little more accurately, more on a weekly basis over this time instead. And here we go. Same exact numbers, same exact time frame, but the presentation tells a very different story. And it shows, well, it was actually down in November. We see it go up like a roller coaster, plummet down at this point, fly up again, but it still is it's steadily higher than it was last November, but we still have these peaks and valleys that come all the way through. And then this number is really far down because the numbers actually aren't in. So this huge plummet is a little bit deceiving in this case. But I wanted to show this anyway, because even though this shows that it's so low here, we can see a much bigger picture of what's actually happening in the course of a year. So if I'm going to jump back to the other slide, if we were using this one, we could make no seasonal recommendations. We could make no seasonal ideas, or we couldn't formulate anything from this because it's just, oh, wow, we just always get better. And these are the kinds of reports, you can speak to this too, but when we get new clients, they show us reports from their previous company, and very often it's just this kind of report that looks like everything was just always getting better. And it's just going on, whether it's showing clicks, conversions, impressions, it's just always going up. And here, whether we were measuring clicks, conversions, impression, whatever the statistic, whatever the thing is we are measuring, even if it's just sales, this isn't actually, this is a helpful graph because we will be able to see, well, of course, it's not showing all the months here, but maybe this is April or something. And we can say, well, look, it really goes up in April. And then look what happened in June or July. And normally we're not looking at a range where it covers so long without the different dates in between. But even without all of that in between, we can see it's actually normal to have dips in November. And we can see like, well, we're actually better than last November. So this is good. And we can do a real comparison. Whereas if you're looking on this,
not a whole lot to work off.
No, there's nothing. It's just, well, just keep doing more of the same. Or maybe you just don't have to do anything because there's nothing to do because it just keeps getting better and better all by itself. So what do you have to add?
No, that's great. I think you covered most of it there, but the data and numbers and information is important, and it's great if you know how to read the charts and know what you're looking for. So we just want to empower whoever's watching this here to be aware, be cognizant of, know what you're looking at. And cumulative reports can be important depending on what kind of information you're looking to get from it. But essentially what we're looking at here and what we usually find is, usually this kind of a report isn't really that helpful on your day-to-day or your month-to-month or whatever. If you're looking out 3 months in advance or whatever the case, a projection like this isn't going to help you to know how many total impressions or whatever have I had over the last however many months or years. That's not going to really help you moving forward. So yeah, I definitely agree. So cumulative reports, they're not all that great depending on what you're looking at. Again, time and place for everything, but we think cumulative reports overall, I would put the stamp of overrated on that for sure. So Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic there. I think we covered that one pretty well.
Before I actually want to add one little caveat for cumulative reports. They're terrible on graphs, but if you're just looking at raw numbers and comparing two different dates, it can be helpful.
Yes.
But as graphs, they're deceptive. So.
Yeah, exactly. You just see a linear, you just see a line just trending up forever. Like, it looks pretty great, but when you know what those numbers actually represent, like you said, yeah, maybe not so helpful. But yeah.